Today, it's all about some of my June favorites. And I think you'll see that they are favorites that are a little bit unusual, things that I don't talk about at all. And let's just see what they are. Are you a mature woman, an aging woman, someone who is looking for help in this aging process, whether it's the way we look on the outside, meaning our skincare, our makeup, our hair, the way we dress, what shoes we wear? Regardless, if you need help, I think RXSTRMOM is the place for you. We have a wonderful channel here of wonderful women who love more than anything else to support and share with you. So if you're mature, if you're aging, and you want to be a part of the RXSTRMOM family, go ahead and subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button, then hit the bell so that you'll be notified every single time we post a video. The first thing I want to talk to you about is a hand cream. And I think we all probably use hand creams. I am so sensitive to fragrance that I have to be super careful for that reason and that reason alone about hand creams that I use. They just can't be highly fragranced. I get major headaches and sometimes nausea from fragrance, depending on what it is. But about, I don't know, maybe a couple of Christmases ago, I was in Sally's one day, and they had a hand cream open as a tester at the cash register. And I thought, well, I'll just try it. I put it on, and it was just a very, very, very soft fragrance. I thought, I think I can use this. And I purchased it. Now, they're not expensive to start with. They're maybe $3 or $4 for a tube this size. My original flavor was, because it was at Christmas time, it was called Fresh Snow Kisses. And you can see that Biscuit has chewed this. He somehow got it. Don't ask me, but he got it. And, but it's Fresh Snow Kisses, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I liked it so much that I bought enough to put all of my granddaughter, daughters-in-law. I put one of these in their stocking because it was just such a soft scent. And it was a good hand cream. So I bought them then. I went back, 3 or 4 months later, and they were on the sale rack, and I want to say they were $1 a piece. I bought up a handful of them. I have used them and used them and used them. I have one, they're just all over the place for me, so that I always have a hand cream or a hand lotion available. Well, a month or so ago, when I knew I had to do something about coloring my hair, and I went to Sally's, I was the only person in the store, so I could talk with the sales clerk, and I looked on the sales rack, and lo and behold, would you believe these were on the sales rack, and I want to say they were $1/4 a piece. So, and she only had, I think, one of these left on the display. I told her how much I liked this, and she said, well, do you know we have a couple of other fragrances in that's also really soft that most people can use. She said, you want me to go to the back? I know we have some in the back. And I said, sure. So let me show you. This is not all of them, but I did. She had the Fresh Snow that I bought originally, and then she had one called Sugar Plum Dreams. It's a hand and body moisturizer. It's really hard for me to tell you. Well, let me tell you what it says on the back. An aromatic blend of berries and dew lilies to make your holiday dreams come true. It was a holiday fragrance. Let me see what this one says. The way the light is shining, and that's a silver foil. So, okay, this says a melody of jasmine, pistachio, and sandalwood to transport you to the outdoors when the winter cold has its way. So that's what this one is. I bought 2 of each, and they were $1/4 a piece. 2.25 fluid ounces in each one. I love these. I did try the Sugar Plum, and I like it equally as well. I can use this, and it doesn't, it just doesn't bother me at all to use it. And I use these all the time. I put these on my hands and up my arms several times a day. I love them. I just have to keep them away from Biscuit. I told you that these favorites from June were going to be totally different, and they really are. The next thing I want to show you, and trust me when I tell you, I do not smoke. I'm pretty sure I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. Well, I know I haven't. But I was in a little antique shop, oh gosh, probably close to a year ago, and I know I've never shown this to you guys, but look, it's a cigarette case. It's a vintage cigarette case. It even has a monogram, and the monogram is CL. I don't carry a wallet. I have never carried a wallet. I've probably owned 5 wallets in my entire life. I've used Ziploc bags, I've used zippered pouches, I've used everything you can imagine to carry my money and carry my cards in my purse. I just don't like wallets at all. But I saw this and I thought this would be perfect for my wallet. And I want to show you the inside of it. It was in really good shape. Let me take things out of it here. But you can see there's a band on one side that was probably to hold the cigarettes. And I've got a couple of receipts under it. There's one that needs to go under it. By the way, I haven't used this since February. It's been in my purse, but I have my cards. I have the same cash money that was in my purse before I went in quarantine on March the 10th. So, some cash, my driver's license, a couple of credit cards that I use, my Medicare, my insurance cards, all right there. And they fit right there and they close. And that is what I carry for a wallet. I love it. I absolutely love it. It is, and when I would pull it out to pay for something, I always get comments on it. Oh, where'd you get that? And like I say, I bought it it was in a case at a little antique shop, and it may have been $30 or $40 actually. I'm sure you can find them cheaper. I love it. It's just the perfect size. Love it. Love it. One of my very favorite things, not just of June, but since the day I bought it. The next thing I want to show you is something I know I haven't showed you either, but it's in this little bag. And what it is the Emoji Micro Peel Nano Pro. I have not had a pedicure since January, or a professional pedicure since January. But I saw this about 3 or 4 months ago on, I believe it was QVC. I'll check to make sure. They were doing a presentation on it, and it was, I want to say $19. And I'm going to turn it on. It's a little loud, but you can hear. And it's this roller. And the roller, you buff the dry, dead skin off of your heels, bunions, calluses, your rough heels. You just put this on and just barely go over this spin, the little roller thing spins, and it just takes every bit of dry skin off. Might have to do several passes, but it takes it off. Now, I've had something similar to this. It was the pet egg, maybe, that worked with batteries. It worked nothing like this. Nothing like this. I love this. Would you believe I've gone back and ordered 2 of these and given them as gifts? And the people who got them love them too. But let me show you what else you can do with this too. Well, you do get a couple of extra rollers or sanders or whatever this little thing is called. But you can order these, and they're very inexpensive. But with the push of a button, this pops out, and then you get the little case. If you're really doing your pedicures at home yourself, you get this little case of tools, and you can use these on your fingernails too. two, but there is another rod that comes with it, and then there are the little bits, and you can see here, and you just, wrong side, put it in that end, and then it just snaps in so that you can do whatever you need to do. Pretty neat. There's a little brush to clean it out with, because let me tell you, it's going to kick up some dust. But that's what this comes with it. The little bag. I use this on my feet about every couple of weeks when I think about it. And it just, I can still reach my feet. I can still reach my toes to polish my toenails and to file them. So I don't know, honestly, I don't know if I'll ever have another. Well, I'm not going to say never, because I may get to the point as I get older where I can no longer reach my feet and I need to have a professional pedicure. But until then, I'm doing my own with this. I love it. I'll see if it's still available on QVC. And by the way, I don't know if any of these are still available. They're just my favorites, but I will try to find them for you, or something similar, and it'll all be listed below. We're almost through. Not very many things. The next thing that I am absolutely loving, and I've had this for a few months, but it's to exfoliate my face, and it's the Skin Non-Negotiables Derm Appeal Thermoenzymatic Microdermabrasion Treatment with VC5 Crystal Technology. And this is what it looks like. And it's this little small tube. It's 2 ounces in here, which is not very much. I got 2 of these. And it says to apply a quarter-size amount of Dermapeel to wet skin and gently massage in circular motions for 1 to 2 minutes, concentrating on lined and hyperpigmented areas. Avoid delicate areas, including the eyes, lips, and sides of nostrils. Splash off with warm water. Use twice per week. I don't use it twice a week. I use it about once a week. As I'm getting older, I'm not wanting to exfoliate too harshly. I'm exfoliating a little bit less than what I normally would. You want to be really careful with this and not get it around your eye area, because it has a very heavily mentholatum fragrance to it. I mean, it's very, very strong. But I will tell you, and by the way, I wet my face like it says. I even wet the tips of my fingers, put the little quarter-sized amount. I don't even use that much. And I even add a tiny little bit of water to that, and then rub it and start rubbing on my face, and I just massage it all over, avoiding my eye area, because it's a strong methylatum fragrance, and you just don't want that anywhere close to your eyes. It is very gritty. Just massage it in good and then rinse it off. Splash water. I use my Campanelli cloth to get the majority of it off, and then I splash water all over my face. Then I use a dry face towel to make sure I get it all off, and when my face is completely dry, I feel of it to make sure there's no grains still on my face. Sometimes there are a few, and I take the dry towel and just sort of brush it off of my face with my towel. But I really do like this. I've used other similar exfoliators, so this is not just, I've used others that I like too. There's some in the drugstore, Walmart, that probably work just as well, but I love the way my skin feels. It feels like a baby's bottom. My skin just feels so good after I've done any kind of a microdermabrasion like this, using some kind of granular crystals. I do like it. Highly recommend it. The last thing I want to show you, and it's for some of us as we truly age and mature, our skin becomes super thin on various parts of our bodies. And generally it's the areas of our bodies that have been exposed the most to the sun. It can be our hands, our arms, it can be our shins, mainly on our legs, our shins on the front there. It can be any place where the skin has thinned and we've just lost so much of the collagen and the fat that we need. to plump the skin. We've just lost it. We're no longer producing it. And because of that, if we go on blood thinners for sure, or if we bump into things, maybe we hit something, or for no reason at all, one of those what I call ugly bruises pop up. And I've only had a couple of them. But when they pop up, one I'm going to show you, I knew about when it happened, but a couple of times they just come out of nowhere. I knew I didn't hit myself. I knew I didn't bump into something with my leg, but I looked down and there it was. And it seems to take forever for them to go away. It's like just an accumulation of blood under the skin. I have researched them every way I know to research them to find out what to do about them. And there's just really not a lot you can do. They're very commonly caused from blood thinners, people who are on blood thinners. I know my sister went on a blood thinner a couple of years ago, and she had them really bad on her hands, the backs of her hands and her arms. She was able to go off of the blood thinner, and they went away. So the blood thinners certainly do make them worse. I've read lots of articles about just using something with glycolic lotions or even retinols, that will help prevent them in the future. But anything like that is going to be long term. You know, you're going to have to use it for a good while before you start to see any results from it, and then you're going to have to continue to use them to make sure they don't come back. And at my age, and I'm going to be 77, you know, in a few weeks here, I just have one every once in a blue moon. Sometimes it may be once a year for the last 2 or 3 years. But the other day, a week or so ago, I'll say, Biscuit and I were playing, and he reached up with his little paw, and he caught me right here, there. And I'll do a close-up so that you can see it. Now, it's healing, definitely healing. About a year ago, when my daughter was here, we were talking, and well, we went to the grocery store, the drugstore, we were out shopping, and she told me about this, that she had used it for something else, but she said that it really helped her with just a bruise that just didn't seem to want to go away. And it's called Articare Roll-On Homeopathic Medicine for pain relief, muscle pain and stiffness, swelling from injuries, and then bruises. And it says it's non-greasy, quickly absorbed, has a massaging roller ball, it's unscented, a no-miss roll-on, keeps hands clean, and it's Arnica Natural, and there you go. And it's a roller ball, you can see, and about 2 or 3 times a day, when I get one of these, I'll keep this with my hand lotion so that I'm reminded. And what I do basically is I'll just, you know, when I think about it, just roll that over the bruise. And I have found, and again, some of these bruises are tiny, some of them can be big. And I can't tell you how long it's going to take, but I know since I've been using this, when I get one, if I use it, the bruise doesn't last as long. And like I say, if you've had one of these bruises where the blood, it's like the blood just collects under the skin, it takes forever for them to go away. It takes forever. This one has a clear center, which means it's going away. It probably will be noticeable maybe another day or so. And I've been using this now for maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe 4. I really do like this. There are probably lots of other brands of this. I got this at CVS. It was not expensive, just a few dollars. My neighbor took a fall a few months ago, and she fell on her face, and she had a lot of bruising here on her face from that fall. When I saw her, I told her about this. She bought it, and a couple of weeks later, when I saw her, she looked so much better, and she said she knew that this had helped with that bruising, that there was no doubt in her mind that this had been a big factor in that bruising going away as soon as it did. You know, when you have a lot of bruises go through that yellow and sort of a greeny stage, I will always have this or something similar to it close by for when I do get any kind of a bruise. Because again, as we age, we bruise more and they stay longer. But the good news is, we're still alive to bruise more. That's it. Those are my favorites. I told you they would be different, a little unusual, nothing really to do with makeup or skincare or hair, although I would imagine the Arnica could be skincare because it's for our bodies, and I suppose the hand lotions could be for our bodies, but not the typical favorites video. I want to thank you so much for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will, and hit the little bell so that you can be a part of our Rockstar Mom family. We'd love to have you. We have the best, the absolute best family members of any channel here on YouTube. I know that so many of you watch so many other channels that you subscribe to, but it's something about the group of women that gravitate to Rockstar Mom, that want to be a part of Rockstar Mom. We just attract the best women, and there are a few men, but we attract the most beautiful, inside and out, kind, compassionate, grateful women. I think whose common bond is love and being kind. Like attracts like. Remember that. Something for you to think about today. There's someone out there, and we don't know who they are, but we're going to come in contact with them. And all they need is for someone to say a kind word to them, acknowledge them, compliment them, ask them how they're doing. They need it, and we don't know it. And by being kind, we've made their day. We've changed their day. So go out and be kind. You never know. You never know what someone is going through. They need your kindness. Know that I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.